Yeah, yeah, I know. They're at it again. It's always the same. They have to turn everything, even turn the Holy Spirit into a Muslim. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's blasphemous. Yeah, I know. The whole system is blasphemous. From A to Z, from the Alpha to the Omega, the whole system is blasphemous. There would be no reason. There's no reason for them. The only reason this system of belief exists is a polemic against Christianity. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm going to address it right now. Yeah, you have a great day. Yeah, okay. I'm going to address it right now. Okay, then. Oh, okay. Bye. Well, now, yes. Hello. I did want to address an issue that I see very often, and that is the claim that Mohammed is the comforter. And I once had a dialogue with Shabir Ali a couple of years ago on did Jesus foretell the coming of the Holy Spirit or another prophet. I think that was the title of the debate. I don't think it was. Specifically, we did not talk about whether the prophet was Muhammad or not, but whether or not it was another prophet. And this you see this all the time with our Muslim friends. And so what I'm going to do is just basically address one of the passages that Shabir and I debated and that or discussed, and that was basically in John chapter 14, verses 16 through 17. And what Muslims claim is that when Jesus spoke about the Comforter, he was talking about the coming of Muhammad. Now, in our debate with Shabir, he wasn't that specific. What Shabir's approach was basically is the reliability of the scriptures. That was his main argument. I basically just stuck with the text and examining it exegetically, and I think that's what I'm going to do here. We can talk about the reliability of John's gospel at another point in time. But we're just going to look at this exegetically and see whether or not whether John 14 verses 16 through 17 actually speak about Muhammad, or they speak about the Holy Spirit. And in order to do that, well, let's read the verse together. I'm going to be reading from the New or from the English Standard Version. And as you can see, the word there, well, in the King James, the word is, the word we see for is the Comforter. And in the English Standard Version, you have the word helper. In other versions or translations, you have the word advocate. So we will read, we'll read it together, and I will ask the Father, and He will give you another comforter or helper or advocate to be with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees Him nor knows Him, but you know Him, for He dwells with you and will be with you. And so let's put this in a bit of context. This is the upper room discourse. It's Jesus' last words to His companions. Jesus has accomplished the work the Father has given Him to do, and He's about to return to His Father in heaven. And so this is, you might say, His last will and testimony, as it were. So let's look at the first question. Let's follow the pronouns. I think that's it. Okay. I will ask the Father, and He will give you another helper, comforter, advocate. Well, in the context, who is the you here? Well, obviously, in the context, the you are the disciples. Okay? I don't think I would get an argument from that. Of course, we can apply it to those who came after him, but the immediate context is that Jesus is speaking to his disciples. And here we have to apply one of the rules of hermeneutics. Well, I have two basic rules in hermeneutics, or understanding the word. The one is, what was the writer's intent, and what would the hearers have understood? What would these disciples have understood? Would they have understood Jesus speaking about something that was going to happen 600 years later? I hardly think so, because we see that it was Jesus who is speaking. He's speaking around 30 AD, and yet Muhammad was not called to be a prophet until about 610. And so we have a period of nearly 600 years before the coming of Muhammad. The other thing, too, is if you use the Old King James, the word is comforter. The Holy Spirit was to bring comfort or counsel. That's another word that's often used, as a counselor. And most of these words are somewhat inadequate. The Greek word is paraclete, one who comes alongside and dwells with an individual. And of course we see that where it says that the advocate, the paraclete, will be with you and in you. And so it's ludicrous for anyone to I mean, how could Muhammad be with with the disciples, the companions of Jesus, if he would not come for nearly another 600 years? That there should exclude Muhammad. And the other one is basically, if we use because our Muslim friends always use the word comforter, is Muhammad came as a warner. He didn't come as a comfort. And in fact, I should ask my Muslim friends, what comfort did Muhammad ever bring? He came as a warrior. He came as a warner. But he certainly did not. He does not bring comfort to anybody. And this is such a, quite frankly, it's a blasphemous term for anyone. Anyone to claim that Muhammad was the comforter is blasphemous. It is a wicked lie. We also see that the comforter, the helper, the advocate, the paraclete, would dwell with the disciples. Muhammad didn't dwell with them, and he certainly didn't dwell in them. So I really have a problem with with Muslims who actually claim that John 14 verses 16 through 17 are about Muhammad. Now I know there's other passages in the Gospel of John that in John chapter 15 and John chapter 16 that they try to claim that this is Muhammad also. But if you apply the same rules of hermeneutics and exegesis, you can see that this certainly is not about Muhammad. So what can we say here? Well, first of all, my Muslim friends, is I really post these videos to encourage you to think for yourself. I encourage you to read the Gospel of John. Just don't do a cut and paste. But begin with chapter 1. Read the prologue. And then may I suggest that you just go to the very end and read the reason why the Gospel of John was written. In John chapter 20 and verse 31, it says, "These things were written that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and by believing you may have life in His name." And so we see what the what the context or why John wrote his gospel. And in the prologue is which is John chapter 1 verses 1 through 18, we see we see why, or it's a setup for the rest of the gospel. But I would encourage you to read the gospel for yourself. And don't believe my words or the words of your imam. Just read it for yourself and ask yourself, what is the Gospel of John saying about Jesus? Again, I hope this is helpful both to Muslims and Christians. Thanks for watching and have a great day. God bless.